Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Brain Dump Podcast. My name is Kagan with Brightbee.com, where we help insurance agents be found online. And I'm here with Rob Galbraith. He is the most interesting man in insurance, some would say. And so really excited to have you on.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Kagan.
Awesome. Well, I want to talk real quick. I know we don't have a lot of time. You got lots of meetings today, but we are at ITC conference, and you've been doing a lot of book signings and talking to lots of people and having lots of fun there. But I want to talk a little bit about the insurance agent and what you're seeing with technology, what you're seeing in the whole industry, and the talk about where the insurance agent's going. And honestly, from what I'm seeing, is people don't believe the insurance agent's leaving. Things are changing.
I 100% agree with that, Kagan. So we've been hearing about the demise of the insurance agent for at least 20 years, if not longer, right? Yep. And we definitely saw on the personal line side, some of the direct writers were taken away from some of the agent writers. But I actually, I don't know, this is like PC or not, I've been calling it like the revenge of the agents, right? So there's kind of like the Star Wars and then the revenge of the yeah. So think about all the spending that some of the large direct writers are doing on advertising. It's just boatloads of money, and it's just saturated the market. Like everyone's heard the same messages over and over and over. And so what I'm seeing from agents that are playing the digital space, where a lot of people are starting their search for insurance online, just like they do for every other product. For those agents that have kind of embraced digital marketing techniques, they can be so much more nuanced, so much more tailored to their particular audience, who they're trying to attract or whatever. Just people type it in, and then they find somebody kind of locally that they trust, and they might read reviews, or they might do a little bit of homework, right? But if they can find you online, if you have that digital presence, then when they connect with you, they actually know a little bit about you and your agency, and they may also know about what their needs are. So to me, they're coming to you as a little bit more informed consumer. But you're absolutely part of the consideration set, and in some ways, you're going to be standing out because you're not just one more Gecko ad or whatever.
Right. So I feel like you were just trying to sell Brightbee here, and that was no plug to Brightbee at all, but that was a great, so I mean, it sounds almost archaic, right? I mean, it sounds like we've been talking about this for years and years and years, but it seems as if people haven't adopted, and they're starting to adopt and seeing the importance of it, and more insurtech companies are also coming up with ways so that they can adopt more to this.
Yeah, so I don't know if you agree with this or not, Kagan, but what I would say is we kind of have like three different categories. So you've got some early adopters, some agents that have been just totally rocking it in this space, just rock stars, amazing, and so they're really seeing tremendous benefit from it. Then, of course, there's going to be agencies, they're never going to adopt digital marketing. That's just whatever, laggards, they don't want to do it. I see a lot in the middle, probably the majority they're in the middle of, they see the results of some of those early adopters that are really rocking it or getting it. They want to do it themselves, but they don't know how. And so they need help. And to me, that's where, Brightbee, that's kind of right in your sweet spot of they see it, they see the need. And I think before there was a little bit of this too shall pass, okay, let those guys go out there with their fancy digital marketing. I'm sure they won't get a return on that investment. Well, now that it's been seen, I agree. Like, I think more and more agencies appreciate the need to do it. And quite honestly, sometimes you might have a change in the generation, or as you hire more employees or whatnot, that kind of, again, are used to doing this in other verticals. So they're kind of convincing their principals, whatever, hey, like, this is something we got to do. It's not a fad. It's not going away. You need to invest in digital marketing.
Yeah, definitely. And the deal is, a lot of people think it's so expensive. And a lot of insurtech companies are making it affordable and what we talk about a lot is being omnipresent. So, there's statistics right now are showing like 25% is happening on your website, and then there's 75% of opportunity that you're missing right now if you're not in all these other channels. And a lot of people say, well, I don't want to be in other channels, I want to be in one place. It's like, no, you've got to be in many different places. You've got to get out there. And so I think that's really important. Are you seeing any companies right now that are really taking the storm on insurance agents and maybe working with carriers? Have you seen any?
So I'm going to put a plug in for my carrier. So I'm the Director of Innovation at AAF Group, in addition to being the author of The End of Insurance as We Know It. So we've seen this move to digital. We're entirely reliant on independent agents. We love our independent agents, not planning to go direct at all. But we want to help them, particularly with that small micro segment that we know can be very profitable from a carrier perspective, but can be really costly from an agent perspective for prospecting, acquiring those policies, servicing. It's not worth the premium, right? So being able to lower the cost floor, and we see digital marketing the way of doing that. So we're actually executing on a digital distribution platform right now. We've kind of put together a digital marketing playbook. We're going to be rolling this out to our agents soon to kind of help them. So tell them about our platform, and then to help give them some digital marketing tools. But we know that that's just a start, right? And so to your point about partnerships, we think it's critical. So we know a few agents are going to jump right all over this because we've already been including them in their feedback. We have an agency innovation council that we rely on very heavily on my team. But yeah, again, when we talked about that mass adoption, there's going to be a lot that just kind of need a little bit of help to make the leap. And we are asking our agent partners to make an investment in digital marketing to help business and drive traffic through the platform.
And I truly believe that it is a partnership. I don't believe it's something that the carrier can just front all the money for. Of course, that's always helpful, but you guys have limited funds as well. I mean, and so with the agent also putting some skin in the game, it is a partnership. It's something that you guys can do together. And to have those early adopters in this is going to be extremely powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And from our perspective, so we're a monoline work comp carrier today. We're definitely looking to do some specialty lines and some other things, but we're not going to write your standard BOP policy or GL or other stuff. So from an agent perspective, if we're able to drive traffic through our portal to write that comp piece with AAF Group, then certainly look to the agent to be able to round out that account. And then hopefully as that policyholder grows their business, they become a bigger customer and client over the many years. So, but exactly to your point about the acquisition portal, it's like all about bringing the cost down, just being able to add policies to your books at a relatively low cost, so that over time it can kind of grow and you can really grow your book of business.
All right, so last thing here, I want to hear from you. What are some things that agents can do right now to start their journey of digital marketing and getting out there and being omnipresent? What are some things that you see? I mean, you've done books, you've done some video now. I mean, you're even doing it with your phone. I mean,
very low tech.
Crazy. So tell me some things that you've experienced maybe in your career that you've done to help you gain more exposure and brand.
Absolutely, Kagan. Yeah, and so you're doing a great job as well on your social presence. So a couple of tips that I always give people first, find out who's doing it. So we mentioned there's several agents. It does not take a big search to find some of the agents that are totally rocking it. So definitely see what some other folks are doing. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. The second thing, as I say, is have fun with it. I think it's very intimidating for a lot of agents to get started, right? Just getting over that hump. You're not going to be perfect the first time out. Just recognize that. And so have a little fun with it. Try different things. Kind of see what works, see what doesn't work for your agency, and then over time, hopefully you can grow to the channels in a way that speaks to your voice and your agency, the presence that you want to have. You might be super silly and fun, you might be super serious, like depending on how you want to position your agency, the type of customers that you want to drive and service. So there's definitely no one right answer other than you kind of have to start somewhere, and you just have to experiment around, and definitely finding partners rather than, there could be a very slow learning curve, but you can help accelerate the learning curve with partners. Don't do it alone.
Yeah, no, I think partners, and it could be phenomenal, and we do not take enough advantage of our partners and help. And I think one of the things with partners is that being able to create content that adds value to them as well, right? And so a lot of the times we think, okay, well, what can I do? And if we change that to say, what could we do? What could we actually help them with as well? It's amazing what that does.
Yeah, and the one thing too I would add is, when I talk about the book, I'm not trying to just one more ad that's out there for the book, right? I try to have something that's relevant, some piece of information, something you might not know. There may be an event that's going on or whatnot, right? So, try to have some, news or informational value or something that's very meaningful, not just another kind of digital billboard of your agency, right? And that's it. Like, hey, we're here. It needs to be more than that. To your point, it has to be engaging, and it has to kind of have a message that really resonates with folks that are out there that want to find solutions, right? They have problems. They need insurance solutions. They're looking for people to help them with that product. So if you think about it in terms of offering information, guidance, and help rather than just selling, I think that's a huge mindset shift.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say on that is that I think there's a lot of times where we think that our content is not making it to the people that we want to see it. And unfortunately, we were talking about last night that a lot of people, they save their likes, they save their comments. They don't interact, but they're still watching. They're still like stalking you without ever interacting.
I 100% agree, Kagan. And what's been fascinating with the book is I'll go to an event like ITC and I run into people and they're like, oh, I love your personal brand or I love your book, whatever. And I would never know that this person was following me because they've never engaged. They're almost like a voyeur out there. And so, just recognize that. Yeah, I know the metrics are good to kind of help you in terms of KPIs of how effective is your campaign, but your reach is always broader than you think it is. And so you got to recognize that there is a wider audience out there that is seeing your content. And it also takes repeated exposure. It's not just a one-time thing. And to your point, some people, they are on all the social channels, but many people just use one. They may be just Instagram or just Facebook or whatever. And so in each of those platforms is a slightly different audience. So to your point, you kind of need to have messaging across the different channels to reach different audiences to have the most effectiveness.
Awesome. Okay, well, guys, I think that was a brain dump. He's got to go to the next meeting. But don't forget to subscribe to this channel and make sure that you like and comment below and tell us a little bit more about what you're struggling with in marketing. If you have any questions for Rob, definitely we will get those to him and we'll get them answered. Hope everyone has a great day, and don't forget to start getting more social.